So a couple of days into the workout, just what do you really like about the way these guys have hit the field?
So far, it's been tremendous effort and tremendous attitude. These guys are coming out with a lot of juice. They're playing fast. They're having fun. A lot of guys are just laughing, but working hard at the same time. So if nothing else, I think we've had great attitudes. Plays haven't been perfect, but they're having fun with what they're doing.
Are you seeing that maybe guys are just a little more polished now because they do have a lot of them, some years of this?
For a lot of them, this is maybe the third or fourth time we've put in this offense now. So yeah, and you'd like to think at this point, offensively, we should have a pretty good feel for what we're doing.
What does it look like in the receiving core? I mean, Shane has always been kind of a slot guy. Is he at his size? Can he's getting wide and move him around, and guys like Stoner? I mean, kind of how do you see the whole wide collection of wide receivers panning out? You sort of have plenty of them.
Well, we do. Now, what we don't have is maybe a ton of experience of guys that have played. I think you mentioned it with Shane and with Nick Stoner, Isaiah Roundtree. Those three guys have played the most. And so we were trying to get our best guys on the field, and that's what we're going to try to do. But then at the same time, we're also going to start building some depth with guys who haven't quite played on the field yet. But we're going to put pressure on them and get them ready and raise their expectations and have those guys come through for us this fall.
You don't have quite the big wideouts that you had with Kofi and Cody, it seems like. Is that a concern? Is that will that influence how the offense produces?
I don't think so. Every year each coach is going to build their offense around what they have. And so we have Shane and Stoner and Isaiah right now as our starters. And so what we're going to do is find out what those guys do best and then mold everything that we're going to do to that.
They're certainly quick and nimble. I mean, you really have a plethora of those kind of guys.
We do, that's right. And speed is one thing that I can't coach. And those guys, when they step on the field, they have the ability to hit the gas and get down the field and put some pressure on defenses.
Can you tell how Nate and Trey have developed from a leadership standpoint, just from how they're kind of conducting themselves on the field?
It's what you said earlier. I think they're just more comfortable, just more at ease, at peace with what's going on, with my reads, where my eyes are going to be, with hots, things of that nature. So I think with that, with them being able just to settle down and play, they can now take their leadership to another level. Because not only are they concerned about themselves, now they can really focus on their teammates as well. Hopefully they have what they're doing down pat by now.
Speaking of your receivers, some of the guys, the younger guys who maybe redshirted or haven't played a lot, is there anybody or how do you feel about how they're stepping up so far in the first few days of spring?
Yeah, 3 practices into it. I'm not sure that I'm ready to mention any names of guys who are really standing out. What happens this time of year is you put as many plays in the first 3 days as you can, see what they can remember, go back in the meeting room and sort of put the pieces together. And so what we're trying to do, the challenge is to get them to come out here and play, but not think about their assignment. And what a great group of guys, high character kids. They're working hard, and so their time is coming. It's my job to get them ready to go by fall.
Another guy you lost, obviously, Ted Bolster at tight end. What have you seen from Danny? What did you see from him last year in a limited time, and what have you seen so far this spring?
That's right, limited time a year ago, but he's always been a very heady, a very smart football player, which has allowed him to play at a young age. And now I think we're trying to build onto chapter 2 for him. And now behind him we have guys almost like at receiver who really haven't played a whole lot, with Jordan Fuchs as a freshman, Michael Cooper, some of those guys coming into the mix that, again, it's our job to put pressure on them, get them ready to go so they can come out here and perform.
What's the biggest way this program is different now than your first spring here?
That's a great question. I would say that these kids, one, understand exactly what Coach Wilson wants, what he expects, and really what they're doing is they're having fun while they work hard. And I think Coach Wilson, the very first day he walked in here, that's what he said we were going to do. And these kids are doing it. They understand when they can joke with Coach Wilson and when it's time to buckle up, strap it up, and let's get after it. And I think right now we're doing a good job of just having some fun playing football.
What's it like for you just to add on another role? Basically, you've already taken on 2 positions, basically to the throw coordinator on that. What's that been like for you? How do you balance that?
Well, one's been a lot of fun. It's a new challenge, and that's the entire reason I came to Bloomington was to have the chance to do this. And but quite honestly, from a schematic standpoint, we really aren't changing a whole lot. We're doing the same things. I work closely with Coach Wilson, so day to day hasn't really changed that much. Maybe just a little bit more of organizing and structuring the day for our staff. But it's been a blast. I have fun working with these kids, and we're excited to see what we can do next fall.
Have you ever been a coordinator? I'm trying to remember.
It's my first time.
What's how just excited are you for this part of it, from doing the play calling and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, thrilled. And I think, as a young coach, when you get into the profession, you want to coach at the highest level. And so my ultimate goal is to become a head coach, and this is the next step in becoming a head coach. And so I've been waiting for this and wanting this for a long time, and so now I'm excited. I'm gonna make the most of it.
What's the difference for you preparation-wise, I guess, in terms of thinking about play calling, thinking about putting plays together?
Yeah.
What's new there, basically? What
Yeah.
have you done this offseason?
With
to
Coach
get ready
Wilson's
for this?
offense, as you guys know, we like to play fast.
Right.
And so really it's a matter of challenging yourself to think fast. Not only, okay, when we call this play, okay, what's the check? What's the protection issue? And then what's going to be the next play? Whether it's second long, whether it's second short. You're constantly thinking ahead as to what either might happen or what's going to happen next.
Do you just kind of spend time just looking at film and considering, what do
That's
I do
right.
in this situation?
That's right.
What do I do in that
That's what you
situation?
do. When you watch film, it's like, okay, what if? What do I do here if this happens? What do I do here if this happens? So yeah, I think from a mentality, I have to change sort of how I think, moving just from the quarterback and receiver world now to the complete big picture.
What in terms of your promotion and just sort of how it all played out? I guess did you know, when Coach Luttrell was talking in North Carolina, were you made aware that if he was going to go, it was going to be you? How?
Yeah, not really. I think things happen fast. And, I'd heard Coach Luttrell was going to interview, and this may happen, may not happen. But quite honestly, I leave it in God's hands, and whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And I'm just excited Coach Wilson trusted me and gave me the promotion, and now we're going to make the most of it.
Does anything change with you in terms of how how much time you can spend with positions and stuff like that?
Yeah, not yet. It hasn't, because again, structurally we're still the same. Coach Wilson's still going to help with the quarterbacks. I still do both, and then our GA Carter Whitson still helps with the receivers. So us three, we're still a tag team in those two positions, just like we have the last couple of years.
Is it going to be any different with you in the press box?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe a little bit, and we'll organize some sideline structure to get what we need. But we'll work at it. It's going to be a little different because there's change. And so, but I'm confident we'll iron everything out and make it work.
Have you talked to anybody outside of the program about just advice or just how to go about doing it?
I haven't yet. And I tell you, really, because the last couple of years, every day I sort of prepare for this day, for this step. And so I take notes as to maybe what guys in front of me, what they did well, what they didn't do well. I listen to Coach Wilson, who's one of the best play callers in the history of college football. We're running an outstanding offense. And so for me, it's just a matter of building on my maybe 10 to 12 to 13 years of college experience. Every day I've been preparing for this day, for this opportunity.
Is there anything you add to his offense, basically?
We haven't yet. We haven't yet. And, I think we're going to go through spring ball, run our base offense, get guys comfortable doing what we're doing, and then we can look to add on to that next maybe in the fall.
Obviously, you got two good quarterbacks, but you guys brought in one this year. You didn't bring in a quarterback last year, Alexander. How much does it benefit him being here, and what have you liked from what you've seen from him so far?
Well, so far he's swimming, and so he hasn't had a chance really to shine because he doesn't know what he's doing. He's learning. But I think the advantage of it is absolutely huge, that he's really getting his two-a-days, his fall camp right now. And so now he's going to go through these 15 practices, learn every single day, then come back out in August, and hopefully he'll look a little bit more like a seasoned veteran going in. It's almost like year two now at that time. But so I think it's huge that he's here. I think he's got a lot of work to do, a lot of studying, a lot of memorizing the offense. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.